Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to Centurions Review, the punk rock band of Wargame Review Institutions. Today we're doing something a little bit different. This is an after-action report about a session I played with the Battle of Agincourt from GDW. The game took about 2 hours, so it would have been too long a video to edit for YouTube. Agincourt is not very historically accurate, and it greatly favors the English side. However, it's simple to learn and quite a bit of fun to play. For the English player at least, and maybe not so much for the French. But the English longbows set up first on their stake positions on the battlefield. Stakes double them in defense against melee attacks. England's men-at-arms set up in their positions marked on the map. The French forces set up in their marked positions, but their cavalry sets up right behind them. As far as terrain, there are open, full forest, and partial terrain hexes. Full forest hexes may not be moved into, but partial forest hexes can be used by archers. The English longbows have a range of 6, while the French bows only have a range of 3. The longbow is very deadly in this game. The instant victory conditions are as follows. The English win if 35 French units are destroyed. The French win if 25 English units are destroyed. Otherwise, the game plays until turn 16 and victory points are calculated. Please note a turn in this game. The sequence of play, basically the English go and then the French go. They consider that 2 turns. 1 turn for the English, 1 for the French. So when it says goes to turn 16, it really is going to turn 8 if you're counting the English and French turn as 1 turn. On the first turn, the English men-at-arms moved forward, and the English longbows killed 3 French archers and 2 French men-at-arms. Next, the French moved their whole army forward. Only 2 French archers were in range because they have a range of 3 instead of 6. They fired without effect. Turn 2, the English didn't move and only managed to kill 2 French archers and 2 men-at-arms. The French responded by moving forward and fired their bows without effect. They did get a unit into melee and killed an English men-at-arms. Last, they rallied one of their routed units. Turn 3. England didn't move, but they had devastating missile fire. 8 French men-at-arms units were killed and 1 French cavalry was killed. France responded by advancing their army and having a small cavalry charge. 14 French units total made contact and 4 English longbows were killed. Turn 4. The English didn't move but killed 3 French men-at-arms, the regicide unit, and 1 cavalry. 2 French units routed. On the French turn, they advanced and did 1 cavalry charge. 3 English longbows and 1 men-at-arms were killed. Finally, 3 French units rallied. Turn 5. England moved a few units forward and shot longbows, and some other units engaged in melee. 2 French cavalry and 5 men-at-arms were killed. France moved forward and charged with 1 cavalry unit. They killed 1 English longbow and 1 English men-at-arms. Turn 6. Some English units moved forward. They killed 1 French armor and 2 men-at-arms. Their poor dice rolling kept them from winning this turn. They have killed 38 French units at this point and only needed to kill 35 to win. The French got a second wind and moved more units into contact. 3 English longbows were killed and 5 French units rallied. Turn 7, the English killed 3 men-at-arms and 1 leader, ending in an English victory. The final count was 38 French killed and 15 English killed. One thing I'd like to point out is when I say turn 1 through 7, it's actually turn 7 that was actually turn 13 and turn 14. That's the way they do turns in this, as I mentioned earlier. So I like this game, but it seems like an exercise in futility for whoever is playing the French. The game is heavily set up in favor of the English, and the French cavalry have ridiculous stats. They have a defense of 1, which is the lowest defense of any unit in this game. Every English unit will have maximum odds versus French cavalry. The French cavalry do get a bonus for charging, but most will be annihilated by longbows before they can even make contact. Thanks for watching, and have a good evening.